Ah, there we are. You know, I'm sure lucky that we got old Crystal Lynn on the other end of this thing to edit these, because when I start these out, I forget a lot of things. I forget to turn on the lights and do a lot, but she just 86s them. She cuts them out. You know, we try to do these things in 5 minutes or less. We have an alarm, and like now I'm just setting it, and it'll be 5 minutes or less, and that alarm will go off and tell me when I should shut up, because we don't want to bore you with too much for too long. It's just little tidbits, but I must be honest, it's kind of difficult for an old country boy like me who's got a persona and trying to simplify everything so that I can understand it. I figure if I do that, you'll understand it, and probably you already know it, but sometimes it's just good to refresh your mind. And then you can share it with your friends and little kids in particular, those coming into this life. They're the ones that really need it. That's why I recommend a lot of people to go over to Old Taunt, that's the Temple of New Thought, and see all the pretty and funny stuff they have so that you can get a good idea, because it's designed for the kids. Oh, Auntie Tian there, she really does a great thing for little kids and teenagers and young people and old people like me too. I enjoy it, and I think you would too. That's a little deeper, but what we're trying to do here is to give you some tidbits of truth in a way that it makes simple understanding. We talked about karma this month. We talked about experience. Now I'd like to talk to you about why those things happen and what is the experience and what is karma. Well, as we said at the very beginning, karma is simply the working of the law, meaning that what happens and karma is the happening overall. Now, I have people talk to me about the Akashic record, meaning that everything you do, say, or be is somewhere along kept in a record. I think some of the old Christians say, oh, God's up there with a book and he's writing down everything, and on Judgment Day you're going to be judged. No, you're already being judged, and you're being judged by a person called you. You do your own judging, and you create your own karma. And that means, how do you understand it? What do you think about it? Are you learning? And learning the lesson is one thing, mastering the lesson is another. You know, you don't have to know all the reasons why. What you have to know is how you react. And that's what this session today is about, is your reaction. Your reaction to anything and everything. How do you get to that point, and does that make you a doormat? No. Tough love is what you are. You're not going to be a doormat. As Jesus said, you can turn the other cheek. You can just turn it. And I don't think he meant this cheek. Doesn't really matter which cheek he means. Walk away or stay with it. Just don't let it get to you. Don't let it bother you. Well, my friends, it's kind of difficult sometimes when it's shoved right in your face. I'm thinking right now, I was watching on the news the other day about that Davis lady in Kentucky who is so adamant about not issuing license to people that she doesn't deem worthy. That doesn't matter whether they're homosexual or heterosexual, if they're just not worthy because it disagrees with her Christian teaching. Well, her teaching is her belief system, and that's okay if she wants to do it, but I'd like to remind you what Jesus said about that. When they were trying to corner Jesus and say that he was working against the society, the laws of the land, he held a coin up and he said, whose picture is on this coin? And they said, Caesar. And he said, then render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. What he was saying, get along with everybody. Get along with it. You don't have to be a milquetoast. You don't have to be lay over and die. As I said, you don't have to be a doormat. You can be tough about what you believe, but it's yours. And it's better to know something than to believe something. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, belief is a word that's actually loaded with doubt. You don't know. I know. I have learned. Now I know for me, truth for me is one thing, and truth for you may be another, and I'm willing to accept that because I love you. And that's all that matters. And I want to thank you for letting me share a little of the very little I know today. God bless.